I'm trying Adam Ragusea's new and improved ice cream recipe that only needs a bowl, a spoon, and a freezer. Adam uses a sheet pan too, but I'm only using a bowl because it takes less space in the freezer. For this recipe, start by adding 2 cups or 1 pint of cream. 1 cup of milk. Adam uses evaporated milk, but I found regular whole milk works as well. 3/4 cup of granulated white sugar. Use brown sugar for a richer flavor. A splash of vanilla extract and a pinch of salt for that boosted flavor. Combine the base ingredients. The sugar was a little stuck to the bowl, so I just scraped it off. Some of the sugar might not fully dissolve, but that won't harm the recipe. Freeze for 30 minutes. I actually found that I could have used more time in the freezer because Adam's freezer is cooler than mine. Just wait and see if the ice cream has changed enough in the first round. If not, leave it in for longer. After the first round of freezing, it was still very liquidy and not much had changed, so I put it in for another 30 minutes. The sides had started to solidify, but not as much as it should, so I put it in for another 40 minutes for 2 times and 1 hour 1 time. I mixed it 3 times. At this point, the texture had started to come together, but was still a little liquidy. I scraped off the sides and then put it back in the freezer for another 1 hour. Now it looked like soft serve. Not icy, but not liquidy. For my flavoring, I added a cup of dark chocolate chips. Like what Adam did, any flavoring will work for this ice cream. To make the process shorter, you can freeze the flavoring ahead of time. After I mixed in all the chocolate chips, the ice cream melted a little bit because of the additional heat, so I put it back in the fridge for 40 minutes. The texture was perfect after just 1 round. The amount of rounds you put it back in the fridge for all depends on how much heat you introduce. Transfer to an airtight container. I noticed there was a lot of chocolate chips on top, so I mixed it to spread them out. Put on the lid and freeze overnight or for 24 hours. Before I scoop the ice cream, I heated up the spoon to make it easier. Take a cup that can stand heat and add hot water. I also added a little cold water so the glass wouldn't break. Once the scooper is warm, it'll be easier to scoop the ice cream. Overall, this recipe is definitely easier to make compared to Adam's first ice cream video because you only need 3 utensils. The freezing part was a little hard to get right, but it depends on how cold your freezer is. The main steps are just freezing and stirring until you get the soft serve consistency. I wouldn't recommend chocolate chips because they get hard to chew after freezing. The ice cream also melts quickly, so make sure to eat it right away when you take it out. It also tasted amazing and was much creamier compared to the earlier recipe.